this story, I think, says something about the state of the Republican Party and the fact that they might be kind of nervous. They might be getting some kind of information, frankly, talking to folks, that the midterms do not look good for them. And this has been reported in a few places, but we have it here from the New York Times. White House pushes Texas to redistrict, hoping to blunt Democratic gains. A rare mid-decade redistricting push has unnerved some Texas Republicans who worry a drive to harm Democrats could end up endangering GOP incumbents in 2026. So what this story is about is that Donald Trump's team has been encouraging Republican leaders in Texas to see if they can fudge even more. We're going to look at a map of Texas's congressional districts in just a second, but they want to gerrymander the state even more, basically, than it already is. And we'll look at them again. They are extreme if you aren't familiar with the Texas map. The push from Washington has unnerved some Texas Republicans who worry that reworking the boundaries of Texas House seats to turn Democratic districts red by adding reliably Republican voters from neighboring Republican districts could backfire in an election that is already expected to favor Democrats. Rather than flip the Democratic districts, new lines could endanger incumbent Republicans. Now, I just want to note a couple things. One, Donald Trump did exceptionally well across the country, obviously, and he did very well in Texas. In fact, in Texas, which was a state that people were, arguing and hoping was going to go blue, it has actually gotten redder over the past few years, including in large Hispanic districts in South Texas. So the fact that they're already saying, "Hey, we need to kind of like fudge the numbers a little bit more in Texas to help us out on the national level," shows that they're very, very worried about what's coming in these midterms. But what this also means, the reason why some of these Republicans are worried about this is that, you do have those kind of extreme red Texas districts, right? Where Republicans just win by super majorities. They just kind of don't have to worry about losing their seat to a Democrat at least. Those people would likely see those elections become more competitive, which would, mean that some of them who are in kind of like safe seats could see themselves being put into political, into competitive seats, which is, worrying to them. Now, I'll pull up this map here, but I'd love to hear your thoughts, Matt, so people can see just how gerrymandered the state is already. And I don't really know if they have too many options here.
That's the thing that I've been wondering because not specific to Texas, but other states, Republicans have gerrymandered them to all usefulness. Like, there's only so much you can gerrymander something until it becomes kind of self-defeating.
Hmm.
I mean, Democrats actually, I've seen arguments made that they've done this in certain states to protect certain incumbents.
Oh, for sure. No, they
And
do this
it's
everywhere. Hmm.
exactly, and not making that, and making less places a lot less competitive for them. But that creates a problem because all of a sudden there's certain areas you just write off then. And if those have a lot of people in it, it's a problem. But I mean, yeah, look at this map.
I mean, yeah, let's zoom in a little bit. I mean, basically, as is probably not surprising to anybody, it is the bluer districts are in Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and Houston. I mean, but look at this. This is the Dallas district. I mean, there's not really too much more you can do there. You already have. Let's see if I can zoom in even more. God, of course I knew this was gonna happen. Sorry. But if you can't tell and you're listening, you have just absurd districts like this one, Texas 33, which basically envelops an entire area. Here in Austin, we have ridiculous districts as
that one is
well.
hilarious.
This one, that's Greg
Yeah.
Casar. That's Greg Casar's district, which for people who don't know, this is covering over part of Austin, and then this little sliver to allow him go all the way down to San Antonio, a whole other town. Right.
Was
So
that like the right gutter on the interstate, basically? Like,
no, it's I-35, which is funny because this district is 35. And then you have Joaquin Castro and Lloyd Doggett as well. Like, like, what could you do? Like, you could maybe cut into Dockett's district a little bit, but I don't really see that there being a lot of opportunities for them to carve out more space for them. So the fact that they're doing this is one, I think is going to be very unpopular with congressional Republicans, right? But two, I think shows that they're desperate. They're extremely desperate because they realize that they're going to be losing more and more as the effects of their politics and policies, spark outrage and protests all across the country. So hopeful sign, I guess at least, that it looks like the Republican Party and the Trump administration are panicking. Uh, they're joining the panicking party and are doing something that will probably bite them in the ass if they are successful with doing it.
Yeah, look, if war with China or something breaks out, this is moot. But we're gonna have elections again, folks. Like, again, barring
No, we
world
won't
war,
have. Yeah, yeah.
nuclear conflict, we'll be having elections.
And maybe we can make some of these districts, more competitive. I mean, Austin, has, a very, very goofy ones. It'd be fun to have an opportunity to take on a Chip Roy, for example, if they fuck him on redistricting, because Donald Trump is worried that people don't like his kidnap grandma
Right.
strategy of deportations.
Yeah, and D Derb in the chat says, "Tell that to Elon's AI." I'm not sure if you're talking about. The thing I thought about is that they're just gonna have AI do the gerrymandering.
Oh, I'm
and
sure it'll
sorry,
be even
it's-
more insane.
It's gonna get fucked up. Yeah, it's gonna be
They'll
absolutely.
fuck it up. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hey, look, I mean, anything can happen. Gerrymandering sucks, but they really just you can't make these. I'm sorry, I will say it, you can't make these districts more competitive. It really is almost impossible.
Do you think the Republicans? Yeah, they just thought that. I guess let's only gerrymander them as much. They did as much as they could. They didn't leave it on the bone.
The only hope that the Republicans have here is that the Democratic Party in Texas is completely has been in shambles for my entire life. So there's always an opportunity for them to get more power. Don't misunderstand me, but I don't think they can gerrymander and kind of steal it in that way more than they already have.